My parents called my brother a pred because they found my sister's wet clothes in his room, but it turns out our dog was the real thief all along, and now my brother won't leave his room because trust once broken stays broken. Posted by you/throw. Rakso. My brother is 15, my sister is 17, and I, 23F, think that this is really stupid, and it shouldn't have happened, but it did. Now I just want advice on how to make it better. Also, this is the story my brother told me, as I wasn't there. He was in his room playing on his phone, minding his own business. He got up to take out the trash. He came back to lay down in his bed. As he was laying down, he noticed the dog walking out of his room. He ignored it. Later on, his sister, 17F, noticed clothes were missing. She went looking for it and found it in my brother's room. The problem was that it was wet and slimy. She immediately told our parents, and they thought the worst. My dad, mom, and brother argued about it. Rude things were said. Apparently, mom said, "I knew you were weird, but not this weird." My dad said, "I raised a predator." In the end, my parents asked me to pick him up and let him stay with me for a couple of days. When I picked him up, he didn't say anything and just sat in silence. He spent the entire time in the room he was staying in. He only came out for dinner. He skipped breakfast and lunch. His eyes were always red when he came out, so I assumed he was crying. I've never seen him cry. Most of the time when he's upset, he just has a stone face, so what they said must have got to him. Finally, at the end of the week, his parents called me and said they wanted to talk to him, so they came over. Before they came over, I tried to talk to him, but he ignored me. When parents came, they apologized to him. Over the week, they noticed more of sister's clothes in his room, until one day my dad caught the dog with my sister's clothes. My brother just said okay and went home. I tried to ask my parents if he could stay longer, but they said that wouldn't be necessary. Later on, I got a call asking me what did he do over my house, because he's just been in his room all day at their house. Is there anything I can do to help him feel better? Advice would be greatly appreciated. Little update, good news. He can stay with me until Sunday. I had to lie a little to parents to get him to come. I told them he should get out the house because he spends most of his day sitting in one spot with online school. They didn't believe me at first, but I said it would be a chance to get him out his room. They finally agreed. He was about to go to sleep, so I came just in time. I think the plan right now is to just spend time with him this week. I'm broke, so it's gonna be mostly home stuff. I tried to talk to him on the car ride. I asked him if he's okay. He said he's fine, and we had a little conversation about his school. So at least he's talking now. He's in the spare room, so everything is okay right now. Relevant comments. Commenter 1. Poor fellow. Your parents seriously attacked this kid, and to think they can just say I'm sorry and everything be fine is mind-boggling. They destroyed any trust he had in them, and this will not be an easy fix. It appears they had their mind set before even accusing him, thanks to your other sister. Yeah, he probably doesn't have much use for her either right now. Your brother needs space and time to heal. Being at home and being made to interact with this right now is punishment, even though they are his parents and sister. If I were you, I'd tell my parents what they did was inexcusable. I'd talk to him one-on-one and see if he wanted to stay with you for a few weeks. He's 15, being accused of creeping on his sister really put a dent in his self-esteem and self-worth. He needs time to heal. I would also tell him you were there for him no matter what. He will eventually seek affirmation that he's not the weirdo he was labeled. Be there for him. As for your parents, good grief, they need counseling, and your sister probably does too. They made their beds by striking him down so harshly, now they'll have to deal with it a while. It's tough being a 15-year-old kid without these accusations. He really got put behind the 8-ball with this situation. I hope the best for him. Ops response. If I were you, I'd tell my parents what they did was inexcusable. I did tell them that was messed up. They don't see it though. They tried to pass it off as they were just upset in the moment, but I wasn't buying it. Talk to him one-on-one and see if he wanted to stay with you for a few weeks. Sadly, he's ignoring my calls and texts. I'm thinking about just driving to see him though. And if he wants, he could stay with me for a while. I'm with him. I don't really know why they went all in on him. There has to be something larger happening if they can say all those things and not care how he feels. I don't know, but they do need some help too. Commenter 2. Look, I hope I'm wrong, but your brother sounds like he needs to be on suicide watch. Ops response. Sorry for not responding. I had to work. Do you know any signs we should watch out for besides him just sitting in his room? Because if this is a real possibility, I'll drive to their house tomorrow. Commenter 3. Not trying to be a jerk, but there might not be a tomorrow. You need to get him out of there ASAP. Ops response. Okay, I'm gonna stop responding for a little bit. I'm gonna drive over right now and convince them to let him spend the week with me. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little scared right now. I will try my best. Ops response. Good news. He can stay with me until Sunday. I had to lie a little to parents to get him to come. I told them he should get out the house because he spends most of his day sitting in one spot with online school. They didn't believe me at first, but I said it would be a chance to get him out his room. They finally agreed. He was about to go to sleep, so I came just in time. I think the plan right now is to just spend time with him this week. I'm broke, so it's gonna be mostly home stuff. I tried to talk to him on the car ride. I asked him if he's okay. He said he's fine, and we had a little conversation about his school. So at least he's talking now. He's in the spare room, so everything is okay right now. Commenter 4. Your brother sounds like he's exhibiting behavior indicating he's at risk for suicide. Especially since he probably doesn't feel like he has anyone he can trust anymore. Ops response. I'm honestly scared for him. I would have been asleep, but I'm staying up tonight to make sure he's good tonight. Commenter 5. How is your brother doing today? Ops response. He's doing better, and we're talking more. But he's still pretty quiet and spends time in the room. I'm gonna give a final update at the end of the week. Update, 1 week later. This is going to be the only update. It's long. So I've been asked to update the situation. Many of you guys asked that I let brother live with me, but I had to take him back to our parents' house this morning. The last update I gave was when my brother was allowed to spend the week at my house. That was last Sunday. We spent the first day, Monday, at my house just talking. He spent most of the time in the room. At first, he wasn't responding back. It was going nowhere quickly. So I ended the conversation by telling him our parents were wrong and that he is not weird. I didn't say it exactly like this, but I hope you get the point. He just had a stone face, and we stopped talking. Tuesday, he still didn't really come out of the room. I offered to go to McDonald's, and he came out the room to eat at the table. We just talked about random different things. He wasn't really interested in the conversation until we started talking about my Xbox. We eventually started talking about Madden. He started talking about how good he is at the game. We finished eating and he went back to his room. Wednesday, I bought Madden. I don't play sports games. I play games like Cuphead or cartoon animated games. I asked if he wanted to play, and he agreed. I know this is serious, but Madden absolutely sucks. The game started cheating as soon as we started. The first thing my player did was fumble the ball. He was killing me at it. He actually laughed a couple of times, and he seemed to be enjoying himself. We spent a good portion of the day just playing. Thursday was pretty much the same as Wednesday, but he was talking more. I was gonna go to the movies, but COVID is still a thing. We eventually just settled to watching Netflix. He spent half the day in his room, but he is coming out more. Friday, I decided to try to talk to him about the situation again. I pretty much told him I would talk to our parents to get them to understand why he was hurt by it. I also took the advice of seeing if he wanted to talk to a professional. He asked me not to ask them about it. He said it was just better if nobody brought it up again. I was a little shocked, but there's not much I could do. We then decided to go to a walking trail. At first, he didn't want to go, but I convinced him to come. We just spent more time talking. This also made me realize that I should talk to my siblings more often. He seemed happier. Saturday, or yesterday, was pretty much us just talking again. We decided instead of Madden to just play random games I had. I don't have a lot, but I think he had a good time. When it was dinner time, he got kinda quiet again. I asked him what was wrong. He said he wasn't ready to go back home yet. I didn't know what to say. I asked him if he wanted me to talk to our parents to see what we could do. He just said no again. I pretty much told him he could come to my house anytime he wanted to. That leads us to today. He is back at his house. I was gonna talk to our parents, but I assumed he has a reason for not wanting me to talk to them. I know you guys said something about getting him a therapist, but he said no to the idea. I did call my sister to see how she's doing. She said she tried to apologize to brother, but he ignored her. I don't know what's happening with that, but one thing at a time. And that's pretty much how the week went. Overall, he seemed much happier than he was last week. I texted him, and he wants to come back over sometime next week. This part has nothing to do with my brother, but it's about me. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm only 23, still trying to get my life together. I'm a firefighter, so I'm just glad that we get a lot of vacation time, or else I would have had to work. I know people are thinking if you're a firefighter, you should know what to do, and why did you ask what the signs of depression are? I was never trained on how to deal with somebody actively showing signs of depression. I was trained to help somebody who is in the process of trying to commit suicide, and that training wasn't that good. It was basically try to talk them down and do whatever you can to get them to a hospital. I've yet to use this training. This is why I was panicking when everything was happening. People were telling me he could commit suicide. I know I should have kept a cool head, but it just felt different because it was family. They tell you not to panic, but I'm only human. I've been a firefighter for about 2 years now. Anyway, something else I wanted to say. I'm gonna try to be there for both my brother and sister, but I made mistakes too. Somebody brought up the point of when I found out what happened, what was my reaction? I'm ashamed to admit it, but I didn't have one. I thought he was gonna get over it, and everything would be alright. I only started caring when I realized that he wasn't acting like his normal self. That's when I realized the impact of what they said and how messed up this all really is. So to the person who brought up this point, thank you. This showed me that no matter how great my actions are looking in front of random strangers, the truth is that I had a similar mindset as my parents. I don't think he's weird, but I guess my time spent around them made me desensitized to the things they say. I don't know. I'm gonna work to change that because it's not right. So did everybody, thank you for the advice you've given. I see the mistake I've made, and I'm 100% behind changing myself and being behind my brother. Relevant comments. Commenter 1. You're a great sister, Op. I would try to invite him over often, more so than just extending one forever open invitation. It'll make him feel more wanted. Op's response. I'll definitely try to keep hanging out with him and invite him over more often. I'm also gonna try to hang out with my sister more. I'm gonna try to have a better relationship with both of them. Commenter 2. I have no idea what I'm doing. Sounds like you do to me, you care about your brother. That's all that needs to be done. Have you thought about introducing your brother to your pals at the station, maybe give him a tour? Op's response. When I graduated fire school, we had like a family day. We brought our family to where we did our training for fire school. So they all know my brother, sister, and parents. Commenter 3. Whoa, a firefighter at 23? Isn't it hard to get in? Op's response. Not really. I know an 18-year-old in fire school right now. If you apply to the right county, almost everybody gets in. However, out of a class of 100, you will notice only about 10 to 15 people will pass the entire thing.